Autumn is such a season of great beauty to me, and I feel more alive in this season than any other, this ending that's the beginning. And it feels a bit odd that this is the sort of most enlivening season for me, given that it is the time of decline and decay. But even as the days grow shorter and the winds get brisker, as the leaves dry out and the colors fade, that sense of life going on is powerful to me. And I think it may be why so many European cultures held rituals and celebrations of death at this time, that veil thinning as life and death draw together, each calling out to the other. And so every year for this service, we deliberately turn away from the lights in the garden and make space for all of our complex feelings and grieving, to face that necessity of death, to embrace the darkness and know that there's so much richness there as well. American writer Parker Palmer calls this the hidden wholeness. Diminishment and beauty, darkness and light, death and life are paired co-creators of the world. And I always think of them as the yin-yang symbol, those opposites curved into one another, making that whole circle together. There can't be one without the other, and we need them both. We need to live in honest recognition of both for our own health and wholeness. We need those times of letting go, those endings, to make room for those beginnings. That, as Palmer says, we so often want light without dark, the glories of spring and summer without the demands of autumn and winter, the pleasures of life without the pangs of death. But if we pay attention to autumn, autumn tells us every year, decade after decade, that life is better lived in the honest acceptance of all it has to offer, that there is grace and joy to be found even in the midst of decline and diminishment. I don't find this easy to accept, and I certainly don't believe it's the only truth around death and dying. Death can be terrible. It can come too soon or too late as the people we love suffer. And it's totally okay to sit and not feel that there is anything good in loss. It's just fine to rage against the dying of the light. Sometimes life is just hard, sharp, it's mean, it's ugly. And yet when the grief subsides and that rage fades away, when we reach with tenderness to the sharp and the mean, we might be open to that grace of the falling leaves, the grace of all the seasons of living. After the musician Lou Reed died of liver disease one October several years ago, his wife, the musician Laurie Anderson, wrote this to her neighbors. What a beautiful fall. Everything shimmering and golden and all that incredible soft light. Water surrounding us. Last week, I promised Lou to get him out of the hospital and come home to Springs. And we made it. Lou was a Tai Chi master, and he spent his last days here being happy and dazzled by the beauty and power and softness of nature. He died on a Sunday morning, looking at the trees and doing the famous 21 form of Tai Chi with just his musician hands moving through the air. Lou was a prince and a fighter, and I know his songs of the pain and beauty in the world will fill many people with the incredible joy he felt for life. Long live the beauty that comes down and through and onto all of us. Everything shimmering and golden in the soft light. We are all leaves on the tree of life, and at some point we too will flutter and fall, returning to that great mystery, returning to the wholeness, the hidden wholeness. Well, we will not rise again, or maybe we will. Maybe we'll reincarnate somehow. But even if we do, we will be new and different. And when the finality of my own ending feels too hard to bear, I think of the artist Keith Harding, who died far too young during the AIDS crisis in the 80s. He wrote, "I am not a beginning, and I am not an end. I am a link in a chain." And we are all links in the great DNA chain of life, building life through our gifts to the world, whether that be great art or kind words or gardening or engineering. As we sit here today to mourn those we love who have died, to grieve the necessary losses of our lives, may we take comfort in being links in a chain. We are all part of a great weaving, part of the bittersweet beauty of all that is. Long live the beauty that comes down and through and onto all of us. Long live the fallen leaves. So say we all.